Hi, hello, and welcome to Quantum Healing Hands Tarot. It has been kind of a minute since I've posted, probably my longest break since I started this channel. So I do apologize if you've been keeping up with me on my frequent posts. I did take a week off. My mom was in town, and so we had a very, just a calm week together. So I didn't do any work. So I'm back with a reading inspired by none other than my mom. So we're going to look at our relationships with our moms. Some people don't have any relationship with their mom. Some people have the best relationship with their mom. So I kind of just wanted to look at all layers of those relationships. So if you already know which pile you want by looking, go ahead and click the timestamp down below in the description box. And if you need a little more time, let's go ahead and get our breathing on so we can relax. So we're going to start with 3 deep breaths, all right? All right, so now that we're nice and relaxed, let's go ahead and look at the 4 piles we have today. So I just got some stones and stars out, picked matching colors. I think that's the second time I did that. So we got pink, purple, darker blue, and lighter blue, matching my makeup today. So you can pick by honestly whichever is your favorite color. If you have more than one mom, you could kind of assign each pile to a different mom, or if you see someone as a different mom. So this is kind of one where you could watch more than one if you wanted to. So just go with your instinct though about who gets what pile. And so what I do to pick my piles is I close my eyes and I ask my intuition which pile to pick. And very commonly, I will see a number kind of prominently in my mind's eye, as if I was like looking at a light and I closed my eyes and that shape was still there, or number. On the rarest of occasions, I don't see numbers, and then I just know it's not my reading. But everyone's got a mom. We were all born and brought here by one. So go ahead and click the timestamp down below for the pile you picked, and I'll meet you there. Hi, Pile 1. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to bring you this message about your mother. So, whether we were adopted or born with 2 moms, or have a mom and a stepmom, or haven't seen our mom in a long time or another life. So I just wanted to kind of check out all the different dynamics to your relationship with your own mother. So I have a few questions and everything, and I think there's nothing left much more than to just get started. So you chose the pink and rose quartz stone. So to me, this is just you either have like a really good relationship with your mom, or you have always you've been searching for that good relationship with your mom, and there's like potential. I see that you guys have this great mother-daughter relationship, and I don't actually know if you are a daughter, but that was just the energy I'm getting of just very, and if you are a son, maybe you just have that kind of dynamic of like besties with your mom. So, but yeah, this is straight from the heart energy, and I'm really excited to see where this kind of plays out in the cards. So let's look into it more. The first question I asked was, how does Spirit view your relationship with your mom? So, how does Spirit view it? Which means it's kind of the, there's no judgment here of how this is seen. This is more just how it's seen from the outside perspective, maybe. So instinctually, what I'm getting from the Four of Cups here is, like I was saying, I think you might want this really good relationship with your mom. You might want to be besties. You might want to have that Three of Cups energy of getting along and trusting each other. But I have a feeling that something's missing that would support that ability to have that bestie relationship with your mom. So maybe like when you were younger, you guys got along really well, but for some reason she just hasn't been able to give you the attention or energy that you are longing for. I kind of see that you, Spirit sees that you look for this security with her. And I feel like Spirit is saddened by what you want and don't have with her. And so, like, maybe there's been times where you thought it was going to work out really well and you guys were going to get along and everything was going to be good, and she just hasn't been able to give you the focus. Well, to follow up, I asked, how does your mom view the relationship? How does your mom view the relationship with you? If this is how Spirit sees it, how does she see it? So what's interesting is I have been kind of getting this energy of a mom who's been in search for something else, and you have just longed to have that with her. And so this is somebody who feels like, usually the Seven of Shells honestly kind of has a imagination to it, like fantasy. Even though there's all these choices in front of you, not all of them are based in reality. And so I feel like you might be, in your mom's eyes, just kind of one of the other aspects of her life. I don't get the energy that your mom's main focus is to be a mom. That has nothing to say of how much she loves you. She just is someone who has a lot of ambitions. And, you know, you are one of them. But I think you kind of want to be a little bit more important in her life. Yeah, I just kind of had that energy of a mom who's like never really finished discovering who she was. The next question I asked is, what is something you never noticed about the relationship? What is something you haven't really noticed about the relationship? Well, when the Fool is upside down, it's representing someone who's just very like naive and reckless. And so I don't think you've ever really maybe knew from the start of your life that your mom was going to be on a constant search for something else. and you wanted to be such a bigger part of it. And so I just really see that maybe you didn't know how reckless she was being, and or maybe you do. Maybe that is something that you know. Or maybe it's something you are just now learning, that you've been sitting here waiting for your mom to be present in your life and show up with her cup of love. You know, the rose quartz is all about love. It's from the heart chakra. And I just see your mom as someone who's just out there kind of living her life and doing her thing. And, you know, she loves you, but she hasn't possibly made you her priority. And, you know, I'm really sorry about that. We always want to be 100% welcomed and loved by our mothers. Why not? Especially if this is the woman who gave birth to you, then you're going to have an undeniable stitching and undeniable connection to her. So, but I asked more questions. I asked what is some good that is coming from this relationship? You know, even when things are bad, there's always good. So with this rune, this is saying to me that because of what you're experiencing with this relationship, you will always know how not to treat people. You will know what it's like to be present in people's lives. And it's kind of you get what you give. And I think you've learned that. I think that's what's coming out of this relationship, is you are gaining that knowledge of sometimes we don't, it's not always fun to learn these hard lessons about other people. But truthfully, these lessons are teaching you how to be in other people's lives. And so this is good. That's a beautiful, beautiful card for that question of what is the good that has come from this relationship. Is you've learned what you get is what you give. This is just kind of the card of balance, natural law, and just, if you were good and hospitable to people, they will be good and hospitable to you. And if people treat you awful and don't put you as a priority, you won't put them as a priority. The follow-up question I asked was, what is going to be the greatest challenge with your mom? What's the greatest challenge? So when the Six of Crystals is reversed like this, it's kind of saying to watch out for people who want to take advantage of you. So truthfully, it's saying you've learned this truth about who she may be, and it's just saying trust that you've learned who she actually is, and that she may only be showing up in your life to take advantage of you and use your relationship as she uses that and holds that over you of would you, you're going to keep me out in the cold because I'm your mom? You wouldn't do that to me. And it's she probably has left you out in the cold your entire life, or a big chunk of it. And so I think this message is pretty clear. From the get, it was this feeling of, maybe you guys are great together, And maybe there was a time when you were a little kid and you thought your mom was amazing. And it's just been really harsh learning that she might not be living up to everything you wanted her to possibly be. The last thing I asked was how to overcome this challenge. So I got a few cards here, so we're going to kind of just run through these basic steps of how to overcome this challenge. So, well, there's the Three of Cups. So to me, this is saying, I feel like you've found the people who you can trust. And it might not be her, but rest assured that you have found a good group of people, or I feel like you're in a little group that really has shown you what it is to be there and actually be present in your life. So just trust that they're there for you. Because I think it's, this might just be honestly reminding you, don't forget what, this to me is just saying, trust what you know. Trust what you've learned through this time. You've been kind of alone and thinking about all of this, and I don't feel like this is something you've discussed with a lot of people. So everything you've worked through on your own I'm getting the word like accurate, like everything all the conclusions you've come to are true. Wow. There is definite healing in a relationship and companionship. There's somebody in your life who you have been able to hand over your cup of love, and you trust them. And I think you should. I think it's good that you do, because they're gonna be the one to kind of stand behind you when this energy comes in of trying to possibly take advantage of you. And sometimes isn't until we have somebody in our life who loves us and shows us what it is to stick up for ourselves that we know what we're worth. Oh my gosh. I think I'm just getting this energy of to like go back to when you wanted things to be different and wished for a better life, and see that I feel like you've already received so much change. And truly, you are so abundantly lucky. So even though, like, Spirit knows that the relationship with your mom may not be as fulfilling as you would want it to be, and that she does see you as a part of her life, but it's possibly not the involvement that you would hope for. And she just is always going to be on an adventure and seeking something new and new experiences. And you've learned about what you do and don't want in a relationship and family. And so I'm so impressed with this sort of how to get through this challenge of, if she ever is showing up, just know that you've wanted better for yourself for so long. So, yeah, there's going to kind of have to be a disarming the situation. You know, like, you're going to fight to protect. You're going to fight to protect everything you've worked for and where you're at, and your family and what it's all evolved to. So this is kind of saying like you have all the structure you need and love you need to defend it all if and when she comes around and tries to kind of make you feel guilty for possibly cutting her off. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's saying to overcome this challenge is to just, I feel like you've created your own family and home and security. And that's going to be something that somebody who only can take and take and take, they're going to see you as kind of like an ATM or like, almost entitled to what you have. So just know that you have everything because you've worked for it and you're a good person. And I'm really sorry that this was not some sort of like super positive, warm and fuzzy reading about your mom. But I really see that you have learned this. This isn't anything new. And so maybe this is just kind of that confirmation of like, yeah, that is kind of how you've felt. And so I want to leave you with a quantum healing code before I go. I think I know which one will work really well. All right, so this is a quantum healing code. So if you don't know what that is, it basically works just like the placebo effect. If you believe in it, it'll work. But this specific code is actually to give consolation and comfort that only the Divine Mother can give you. So when you write this number down, just know that it will work for you. The universe we live in is actually a mental universe, just like a computer and how everything is broken down into digits and codes. So is the world we live in. So if you're able to kind of get on board with that, then this code will work perfectly and divinely for you. So we have a Divine Mother from Spirit that comforts us all, and sometimes we don't get that from our Earth mothers, but we have an ultimate mother that is there for us. So write this code down and know that you have love and support from the other side. So pile 1, I really appreciate you sticking with me through this reading. This didn't feel like the most warm and cozy reading, but I feel your heart is really looking for that love and support. So I really see that you are creating a perfect family scenario. So rest assured that everything you've learned and everything who you are, all the good is coming back to you. And, sometimes the people that give birth to us or create us don't always have the best intentions for us. And so my heart goes out to you today. And I just really hope that that code can work out for you and that this reading was able to give you some sort of help on moving forward. So pile 1, thank you so much for being here and just trusting me and reading your energy. If you liked this reading, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know it's working. And if you love this message, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my channel. It's been an absolutely amazing journey. I think it's been like maybe 3 months now. So just thank you to everyone who's been here. And I hope to see you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye. Hi, pile 2. Thank you for joining me today. I'm really excited to bring you this message all about your mom and the relationship between you two. So I don't have any I don't know what's in the pile, so we'll kind of unravel your relationship together. I'm sure you already know, so but I'm hoping to bring you answers and maybe some understanding that you might not have had on your own. So let's get started. All right, well, for starters, you chose the purple star with the amethyst partner. And so I'm curious if either you or your mom's birthday is in February, or if you feel very like psychically linked to your mom. So very often when a woman has a child, they become very energetically connected to them pretty much for their whole life. But I asked a bunch of different questions so we can kind of figure out what's going on. So the first question I asked was, how does Spirit view your relationship with your mom? Well, for starters, there seems to be Spirit views this relationship as emotionally balanced. So I'm really kind of getting the energy that you two have an understanding of each other. And I feel like, I don't know if this is how it's always been or a new development, but there is a definite balance emotionally with you and your mom. And so, like, it being the King of Cups gives it that much more less emotional and more, what's the opposite word? I feel like action oriented is what's coming to me, is that you and your mom have actually been able to make steps forward in your relationship, and it's good. It's king, you know? That's awesome. The next question I asked was, how does your mom view the relationship though? I feel like your mom has had to adjust her approach with you many times. And so that's what I was kind of saying, is I'm not sure this has always been like a stable, healthy relationship, but I feel like both of you have put in the time and effort to acknowledge what the other one could need, and what you could provide for them in the relationship and how to work through that. I think there's been a balance of time, and you have probably allowed yourself to take some space from her and grow up and figure out who you are. So you're far more understanding, I'm sure, to her. The Nine of Acorns reversed is saying to me that despite how much work you guys have had to put in, she feels like you guys are in a really stable and secure spot. And but she's very aware of all the work she's had to put in, and I think she is happy with the product and where you guys are together now in your parent-child relationship. The following question I had is, what is something that you actually haven't noticed about the relationship? So what's coming to me kind of right away is, I don't know if you might not be aware of how much patience your mom has put into having a healthy relationship with you. And I feel like she has finally learned how to tame the lion and knows how to approach you better and talk to you in a way that doesn't set you off in possibly a way that she could have when you were younger. So, but I think that's something that you are possibly learning as you are getting older, of like the efforts your mom had to have made for your relationship to be where it's at right now. And so, yeah, I feel like your mom has really put out this effort to understand you and be there for you. And it's really awesome to know that you guys are in this really understanding place and is balanced. I definitely see that this has been difficult. This was not an easy feat to get here. The next question I asked was, what is the good that has come from this relationship? I think what has actually come out of this relationship that is really good for you is because you two have worked through this, that skill is actually going to take you so much further. So it's kind of a you reap what you sow situation. Like you see his harvest hook. You working through everything with your mom, because I honestly don't know any child that isn't going to have something to say towards their parent. So this situation is just, you guys possibly grew together. You know, maybe your mom was very young, and so you guys had a lot of growing to do at the same time. But what's coming out of this relationship that's good for you is that you know when you put in time and effort, you see that a really good product can come of it. So next I asked, what is the greatest challenge with your mom? What this is saying to me is that when something goes wrong, it may be hard for you sometimes to kind of want to step into that and take responsibility for that. Like, it may be really hard for you when you hurt somebody's feelings, your mom's. And instead of being in this very defensive nature, it's going to be about just kind of seeing what you did and figuring out what you would have wished you would have done and remedy the situation. So this is what your greatest challenge is going to be, because there's a lot of good from this, but yeah, I think there is maybe some sadness towards lost opportunity in the past. And, you know, I kind of get a sense that you might be holding on to something from the past that is hurting you, that your mom has probably tried to work really hard to remedy and ask for forgiveness and do a lot of working through that. But I think whatever happened is, it just probably holds a lot of pain. So, but this next part, I asked about how to overcome this challenge. So I pulled a bunch of cards and we're just going to kind of flip through them and talk about how to overcome this, the being stressed about the past. What's coming to me with the Seven of Wands is this sort of energy of, honestly, it's just, it's because this is a card about like kind of fighting and defending and being on guard and protecting yourself. But it's about, it can also kind of represent overprotection. And that's the energy I'm getting from this one, is that it's kind of saying like, lay down your sword. Like, you fought for this so much and you've been defending yourself so much that, you know, I have a feeling she knows, and how you guys have talked about it a lot. Hmm. I think what could help is seeing other options and knowing that the way things are don't have to be that way forever. Like, you can look towards the future and create new things. And I think everything that, maybe she's kind of trying to build this new future with you and be very hopeful, and maybe you're kind of disenchanted. Maybe it's so balanced because you aren't as emotionally available for her. Yeah. I'm just getting this energy of like, take a rest from what has been hurting you, because there's an energy here of you've already done the work, and maybe you just need to let the what I heard is like, let the pot stew for a while. You already created everything. Everything's sitting on the stove, but you just gotta let it do its thing. Walking away from what hurts you. And so I think the challenge of getting over the past and what has hurt you, this is bluntly saying just you have to accept if it hasn't worked out. If holding on to this pain isn't working out, you have to walk away from it. I think there's kind of a need to start fresh and be willing to almost just say like, hey, I understand my past may not be exactly what I wanted it to be, but if you have a mom that's showing up at all and trying to work through that with you, then that's a huge win. And I'm just getting this energy of like, lay down your sword and see that you can create a new future together. Lay to rest what you've been fighting at. Walk away from what's been hurting you. Be willing to start something new. Oh my God, same. Look. This is just saying to embrace the stability that you've gained with her. And don't worry so much that something's going to happen and it's just going to all go back to the way it used to be. I think that's what you're holding on to. It's like, well, it's going this way now, but what about later? We don't know if it's always going to stay that way. We don't know everything that's going to happen, but you just have to have faith when someone is showing up for you. Oh, but before I forget, I have a quantum healing code for you. So, this quantum healing code is to give you consolation and comfort from the Divine Mother that you can only get from, I don't know if I said that right, but it's consolation and comfort that you can only get from the Divine Mother. So we all are born from a woman in this world, and everyone has their own relationship with their mom. So the Divine Mother is the perfect energy that can bring us comfort. And so if you don't know what a quantum healing code is, it works like the placebo effect in the way that if you believe in it, it'll work. So the universe we live in is actually mental. It's made up of numbers, and just like computers, so when you write down this code, it is activating that sort of aspect of life. So go ahead and write that code down and just know that you are going to experience a level of comfort that you may not have been getting from your mom. She's wanting to be there for you, and she's worked hard to be there for you. And this is just saying, with this being the last card here, I'm just getting like, trust the work you guys have done together. Trust that she wants to be there for you. Like, she knows how hard she's having to work, and you may not be able to actually see the level of work and compassion and patience she's been putting in. But she wants to be there for you. She cares about you. And I don't know what happened in your past, but I do believe everyone deserves forgiveness. That doesn't feel right, what I'm saying. I guess what I'm trying to say is everyone deserves understanding. I guess the forgiveness is for you, so you can release the pain, even if they're not asking for it. Handing them back what they've done to you and saying, like, I don't want to hold on to that anymore. It's only hurting you. This guy's stabbing himself in the head. Like, it's only hurting you. You have such a bright future ahead, and I really see that this relationship has taught you about the efforts you put out and what will come back. So pile 2, I'm going to end it there. I really appreciate that you trusted me in reading your energy. A mother-child relationship can be extremely sensitive, and so I've just tried to remain open so I can bring you the truest messages possible. So thank you so much, Pile 2, for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this message. If you liked it, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know that the reading's working for you. And if you loved it, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and join me on this journey. It has been absolutely wonderful. And so I hope to see y'all next time. Have a great day. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to actually bring you this message about your mom and the relationship you two have. So, whether you were raised by your mom, or you never knew your mom, or your mom isn't around anymore, I wanted to kind of find the energy and just kind of answer all these questions about things that we may not have known about the relationship between you and your mom. So let's go ahead and get started and see what we got. So for starters, you chose the darker blue stone and star. So just right off the bat, this is a relationship all about communication. So whether you haven't communicated in a long time, or you communicate frequently, or your issues lay in communication, we're gonna look into it a little bit more and see what that is about. So the first question I asked to Spirit was how Spirit views the relationship with you and your mom. Well, I see that Spirit sees this relationship between you and your mom as something that has created a lot of mental clarity. So it's kind of this thing of either, because there is a sort of cold nature to this card, like not as emotional. So I'm wondering if you don't talk to your mom, and that in itself has given you, like, by choosing not to talk to your mom, you've actually have really a good, clear understanding of life. Let me think. Yeah, there's this sort of like energy of like seeking out the truth. So I wonder if you were like particularly adopted. And so it's like this idea of like that there's that sort of energy of like you don't know your birth mom, or you were raised, you know, closer with a different person. But okay, wait. There's a second energy I'm getting of like someone who completely did grow up with their mother, but a mom who was very business driven, very idea driven. And so you knew the way to participate with her and get close to her was by being interested in her work. So that's the energy I'm getting for that. That's how spirit sees the relationship. I did ask next how your mom views the relationship. Well, the first thing that I'm kind of getting, honestly, is that like I get this energy of like a single mom who maybe wasn't planning on having kids, but I'm getting this energy of like it's what happened, so she rolled with the punches and she made the best of it. Do you know what I mean? It was definitely a new challenge in her life and she took it on. But that doesn't mean it was necessarily the most warm environment growing up. Yeah, I think your mom definitely understood that when she had a kid, it was kind of like a whole new way of living. And but this could have very possibly have made you feel so like let's say you don't know your mom, it's because she very possibly could have just not been ready to have a kid. And so but the energy of the person who raised you, it was just kind of like rolling with the punches, just like taking on new adventures and beginnings. These both are cards about beginnings. So I have a feeling when your mom gave birth to you, her life started in a completely different way. So she probably lived a very different life before you came around. And she had to kind of figure out how to adapt. So I'm curious what kind of childhood you had. The next question asked is, what is something that you haven't actually noticed about the relationship? What's something you haven't noticed about it? There's this energy from this card that I do get the sense that your mom put in a lot of effort into making it work. Like there's a very high chance that you grew up feeling like you weren't being raised the same as other kids or other family. But your mom put in so much effort to do what she could to do what was right for you. And it may have been something that has taken you a really long time to understand about her, that when you came along, it changed her life completely. And I think she was okay with that, but it took a lot of effort and a lot of balance and patience and finding what didn't work and trying to figure out a way to make it work. Like she saw you as this whole new beginning and a way to actually, I think you were everything she wanted. I think Spirit just wants to acknowledge with this card saying like, I'm aware you may not have gotten the ideal home that you could have thought would have been perfect, but everything was meant to be and destined is what I'm kind of seeing here. So the next card I asked about was, what is the good that has come from this relationship? What's the good that has come from this relationship? So what I'm getting from this card is that what good is coming from this relationship between you and your mom is you are learning how to get through life, understanding that life isn't always perfect. I think you're learning a lot about how your mom is her own person who's gone through her own hell, and her strength in her was actually gifted to you. Like, you literally inherited so much of what she already worked on that you didn't ever have to go through that. And it might be something hard to see. Like, this was what you might not know about the relationship. And I think there's just kind of an energy here that your mom really gave it her all. And, sometimes when we try our best, we still don't, bat 100. But hey, she showed up and she practiced and she gifted you with so much opportunity because she was intentional with you as much as she could be. All right, so the next question I asked is, what is the greatest challenge between you and your mom? So what's the greatest challenge? So what's coming to me with this is there may be an imbalance of the challenges that your mom actually went through and what you had to go through. So there may be sort of a lack of understanding from her towards your situation, because it could be hard for someone who really experienced a lot of hell growing up. And even though they don't want you to go through hell, it could be very hard for them to understand then, like, if you didn't have to go through what they went through, why are you not further along in your life? And, just any sort of judgment. And I do feel like there could be, from them, a little bit lack of understanding of your situation. I see that you have grown a lot of understanding towards your mom, but she still may kind of be confused about who you are and the things you choose to be. Yeah, there's kind of an idea that, like, your mom could possibly just not understand where you get blocked creatively and kind of puts these unrealistic ambitions on you and these standards on you that aren't for you. And maybe there's an element of manipulation here that happens. So it's like this interesting thing of, like, you were raised with somebody, whether it was actually your birth mom or not, but you were raised with a woman who has gone through some serious stuff. And when you came along, you really made her life, you changed a lot about her life. And she may not, so you see how hard she's worked and you've gained a lot of understanding, but she may not understand you and how you live your life. But I did ask how to overcome this challenge, this one. So I pulled a bunch of cards, and so we're just gonna kind of go through them quickly. Well, with the Knight of Pentacles here, I'm just kind of getting this, like, slow and steady, like, just keep up the work that you're doing. Don't let her possible stress about life be put on you. I have a feeling you are working towards your goals and your dreams. And so it could be overwhelming when someone is repeatedly like, what are you doing? I don't see what you're doing. And it's like, that's not the point. Not everyone's meant to see what you're doing. Yeah, there's what just came to me is to kind of see this as a challenge of like, rather than letting it wear you down, of like, oh, my mom doesn't believe in me, she wants me to do something else. Like, see this as a challenge of like, oh, she thinks it's not going to work out for me. She's going to be sorry she ever doubted me, in a good way. Yeah, see this as a challenge to plan your future. I think maybe you've been a little, what I'm getting is that maybe this energy, this kind of overbearing, judgmental energy has kind of made it hard for you to look forward. And this is just saying, like, know that you know what you're doing and you're going after it. And see this as a challenge, like, for fun. Look towards the top of a mountain and be like, I'm going to hit that. I'm going to climb to the top of that mountain and succeed. Well, come on. So you've gotten inheritance here now twice. So from this one and this one. And so your mom is passing along something really good to you. I have a feeling she's leaving you, you're gaining, an inheritance, literally, but it's because of what she's worked for. And I feel like having the understanding that you are in such a blessed spot, that you have good family around you, and just, it's okay if not everybody understands how you're going to succeed. That's not for everyone to see your path. If you know what you're doing and your plan, just keep going. Because this is saying, like, your plans are in order and you know where you're going and you're going to make it. Your mom is passing along to you not only all the things she worked through, but everything she gained in this life. So, and then last is the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is the image of someone who is like, kind of has their, their eyes wrapped in a cloth and their hands are behind their back. And there's swords surrounding them as if they were like trapped. But if they would just know that they could lift up their blindfold and see that they're not actually trapped anywhere. So I'm getting this energy that, like, I have a feeling you and your mom may not have the most perfect relationship, but there is a level of respect. I feel like she may not express to you enough where she respects you and sees where you're doing well. I think the Eight of Swords is kind of just this, you're coming to this level of self-acceptance of like, you are no longer stressed that someone might not see what you're doing. That's okay. That's okay that she may not understand. But I'm getting this energy that you're one of those people that kind of like goes into a retreat and you work on your project and you appear out of nowhere with this beautiful completed picture. Like with the world, or the wheel here, this to me is giving that energy of when you came into your mom's life, opportunity was set forth for you. You were a catalyst in her life, and she really worked hard to try and become the best mom she could be. I feel like she worked really hard and has gone through literal hell. And so, yeah, it could be hard for her to understand, you know, who you are and why you are the way you are. So don't worry. It's all out of love. Oh, before I forget, this is perfect. I want to give you a quantum healing code. So this code here it works like the placebo effect. So if you believe in it, it'll work. It is basically giving you consolation and comfort that only the Divine Mother can give you. So, we of course want to have a perfect relationship with our mom where she's loving and sweet and cuddly and just makes us feel warm and good, but that's not going to be for everybody. So this is a code that will activate that spiritual connection between you and the Divine Mother, which is just the energies of the universe. So if you don't know how this works, it's because our universe that we live in is basically made up of numbers and it's mental. So it's like a computer basically. So when you write down this number, it works. So go ahead and do that. That should help. I really feel like that energy will bring you the comfort that your mom may not be able to provide you, even though she wishes she could. So pile 3, I'm going to leave it there. This was such an awesome... I really felt like I understood this reading from beginning to end. It's literally, this is saying like it's kind of a cold card. So I was like, well, maybe your mom is not as warm of a person as you could hope. And it kind of got spelt out over time that, maybe she just really went through a lot. But when you came into her life, she really, really, really tried to make the effort to be everything she could for you. So pile 3, I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you liked it, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know that I'm doing my readings right for you. And if you loved it, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. It's just been an absolute honor and amazing journey to be able to read tarot for you. So I hope to see you soon. Have a great day. Bye. Hi, Pile 4. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really honored to bring you this message about the relationship between you and your mom. So everyone has a different kind of relationship with their mom, but we all came from somebody somewhere. So I'm really interested to find out what the dynamics of you and your mom are. So let's go ahead and get started. So for starters, you chose the light blue and the lighter blue star. So immediately, this is angelite. This is a stone that is used when you are trying to connect to the higher realms of heaven. So I'm curious if your mother has passed away or if the person who raised you has passed away. So I'm curious what this is going to reference to. So let's go ahead and look at that. So the first question I asked was, how does spirit view the relationship between you and your mom? So spirit is giving me the understanding that there is a possibility that you could not really know your mom, and if you know her, there's a hard time having a relationship with her. This card in this position represents kind of immaturity. So I'm getting this energy that, your mom may have decided to have you before she was ready. And so, like I said, so you may have been raised by a grandparent. But this is, Spirit sees the relationship between you and your mom as just sad. there's a sadness here that Spirit understands. And so you have a lot of support from the other side. That's for sure. The next question I asked was, how does your mom view your relationship? So what I'm getting from this card in this position is kind of telling me, like, truthfully, what I was getting is that she has actually already passed on from this world. So, because there's this energy of like not connected to there's just such an energy of so much more about the cosmos rather than Earth. And so this is kind of about completion. So I'm just getting this energy that maybe she lived very fast and, you know, she may not be around. And so I'm just hoping that the person that did raise you is still around. But there's just this strong energy that you're getting the support from the other side. So even if your mom is still alive on Earth, there's a big disconnect between the energies. Next, I asked, what is something that maybe you haven't noticed about the relationship? So I'm just hearing the word choices here. And because the Lovers, that's what this card is actually about, is choices. And I'm getting this energy that she wanted to choose you, but I don't think she could. I think even though that definitely was, you know, she chose to have you, but for whatever reason, she was not able to be present for you without it being kind of scary. And so maybe she's not around and you wouldn't fully understand how bad it would be if she was here. But she made the choice to I'm just hearing protect you by not being there. I asked, what is the good that is coming from this relationship? So what's coming from this card here is, this is basically like the Viking compass. So what I'm getting is, what's coming from this relationship is your ability to understand how to move forward. I feel like if your mom was more present in your life, you may have really struggled with knowing how to move forward, because if she was more present, you'd want to fight for her more. So this card here just gives that energy that what you're gaining from this, from the dynamics of this relationship between you and your mom, is it's kind of showing you that you've gone through the darkest parts of your life already. You have the knowledge and the truth inside of you, and you're going to be able to make it out of this. You've been given those gifts. So Spirit feels for you that she's not a present being in your life. I get this energy that, like, you, if you can understand this, I feel like her choosing to have you actually was one of her life purposes. So she was able to bring you into this world, and so she may not have stuck around for long after that. But know that creating you was part of her destiny. The next question I asked is, what is the greatest challenge that you're going to have with your mom? With the Knight of Crystals in this position, it kind of is just plainly like, I feel like you hold on to this in a way of like it was a missed opportunity. Like you didn't get the chance to have a relationship with your mom. And I'm so sorry, because that's not fair. You deserve a chance to know. And maybe she left so young you can barely remember, or just remember enough. But this will be hard for you to accept that you guys, this was just not the life where you guys were meant to be in at the same time. And this could really cause some low energy. This could cause lack of motivation. So I just really want you to hold on to what you've learned and who you are. I asked actually, next I did ask how to overcome this challenge, because this is never going to change. If your mom is already out of your life, it's now about how to work through this. So this card, I always kind of say, I don't chase, I attract. That's what comes to me with the King of Wands. So I'm getting this feeling that it's just, what is going to have to change first is kind of the actions you're taking around your situation. I feel like there's a chance you may be allowing this pain, your lack of connection with your mom, to actually be reasons to not move forward. And this is kind of saying like, first things first, you have to move forward. You have to be the one in your life to get yourself going, because no one else is going to. Wow. So not only move forward, but do it logically and not based in emotion, because I feel like your emotion right now is what drowns you. I feel like you get very overwhelmed with how you feel about this situation, because understandable. We want our moms to be there for us 100% of the time. And they're not always there for us. And to get over this challenge, it's just saying you have to move forward with confidence and logic. Wow. Yeah, there's just a sense of practicality that kind of needs to come in when you're moving forward. It's just kind of saying like, don't get caught up in the emotion, because I think the emotion is what has been holding you back. Planning, vision, trust and faith in yourself. Wow. And the fact that none of these are the King of Cups is just like, to me, saying like, you have a very strong energy that you've used to protect yourself from getting hurt more. And I'm seeing here that planning for your future is a really good idea, and knowing how to move forward and planning. There's definitely a sense that you have allowed a lot of emotions to rule your life for a long time, and truthfully, emotions are what can overwhelm people and cause them to make ridiculous choices. Emotions are the products of experiences. But if we allow the emotions to move through us and not claim them and just experience them, we can really use that experience for knowledge on what we want to do with our lives. And what is coming out of this relationship that you do have with your mom or don't have with your mom is that you know where you want to go. It may be hard sometimes to get motivated, but before I forget, I want to give you a quantum healing code, because I kind of feel like this code will help you heal the hurt that you may be feeling that may be holding you back. So this code is giving you consolation and comfort from the Divine Mother. So, we all want a nice big hug from our mom with endless love, but the universe contains the source of that love. And by writing down this code and believing in it, it works like the placebo effect, that if you believe in it, it will work, that you will feel the comfort and love and security from the Divine Mother. So if you don't know, our universe is actually made up of numbers. It's mental. So it's like a computer. Everything breaks down into zeros and ones. So this code kind of activates this aspect of life. So when you write this down, just believe that you're going to feel consolation and comfort from the Divine Mother. So go ahead and check that out. I'm really excited for you to feel that sort of comfort, because I see right from the get that there's a separation and sadness, and you have angels and spirit guides on the other side that are being there for you, but nothing can replace, the woman who gave birth to you. So pile 4, I'm just so honored that you let me read for you and just trusted me in this process today. I'm sending you my love and my light, because I have a feeling you need a couple extra hugs. So thank you so much, Pile 4. It was a true honor. If you liked this message, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know that the reading is working out for you and I did it right. So if you loved it, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my channel. This has been an amazing journey, and it's something I don't ever plan on stopping. So thank y'all for being here, and I hope to see you in the future. Have a good day. Bye.